as we walk through the Botanic Gardens, you can take a peek at the Emperor Valley Zoo in the background. But even more beautiful is the Botanic Gardens itself. So we've been getting some questions, calls, comments, I don't know, via the YouTube channel concerning heart rate zones and training, cardiovascular fitness, and this, that, and the other, right? As I don't know, we tend to make things look complicated, but they're quite simple. Before we talk about heart rate zone, we need to know it have different ways to create the heart rate zones, right? And one way, simple, maximum heart rate as an ambulance pass, who I cannot compete with. Yeah, so you take your maximum heart rate, that's something it is estimated. And then 60% is, you know, anything below 60% is considered not cardiovascular training. That's what they say. And then you go 60, 70, 70, 80, 80, 90. So those are the zones, right? So below 60 is 1, 60, 70 is 2, the infamous zone 2 and all that. One zone is called aerobic. Right above aerobic is what they call in threshold training now, which is anaerobic. And then above threshold is the red zone, the red line. That's when you're training your heart, muscular, and respiratory system using high intensity interval training. So that is a whole different conversation. So let me get back to where we started before I went down that rabbit hole. These heart rate zones could be done from your maximum heart rate, which most people will just take 220 and subtract the age. That's why it is do it. No big setup complication. There's another way. People who utilize measurement devices like Garmin, Coros, other heart rate monitoring devices. I'm not talking about them watch that as measure steps, like people, please. They could set the watch to use their resting heart rate, right? RHR. Why? Why do they want to use their resting heart rate? These people special or something, you know? I'll tell you why. Fitness is like playing football where the goalposts moving. So when you create the heart rate zones using your resting heart rate, you're gonna get fitter, right? You're walking, you're running, you're swimming, you're cycling, you'll get fitter. That is the goalpost moving because you're more fit now. What was really zone 2 before might really be zone 1. You don't know, right? And you don't have to go and find out anything there. So the resting heart rate is concept. As the goalposts move, which is your fitness, it moves with the goalposts. So it keeps you in line. That's a real important factor. That's something I wanted to discuss. Notice we ain't talk about zone and thing yet. The creation of the zone, how you interpret it, is what we just discussed. So for beginners, you know, you're doing it for the longest while, you know start. I understand. Do it the easy way. You don't need to buy no fancy watch, eh? For example, I've been walking for 2 kilometers and my heart rate saying 118 beats. And my I use resting heart rate and it telling me I'm still in zone 1. I get off the couch yet, which obviously is not true because you can see some sweat. Alright, so the heart rate are low and that is exactly what I want today. Today is my recovery workout. No sprinting. Not that you want to see me sprint, eh? And no high intensity. This is a little below low intensity as the rains come down. So that is what I wanted to explain about how to interpret your heart rate zones. 2 methods. It have other methods too, but we don't want to complicate things. We'll keep it simple. right? So for people who in it, if you're in it, you know, it's your health and your wellness. We're talking about longevity. It doesn't hurt to invest in a basic heart rate monitor. I'll be honest, some of these heart rate monitors, you had to mortgage your house to buy. So you could use the talk test. I can't do these videos when I do high intensity training. You know? Well, you're going to hear somebody breathing, panting. Ah boy, rain coming, that nice. Just before I reach St. Anne's Cascade and Holo. He on time. So, oh, by the way, if you're a hiker or outdoors person, you respect rain, you like rain, you understand it. Because the alternative to rain is something called real hot sun. And that doesn't tend to be too friendly. So we'll talk more about heart rate zones as we go up here.